Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kimi ga Nozomu Eien discussion series. Today, we're going to be talking about Chapter 2, Homura Manami's route. We're firstly going to be talking about the absolute train wreck that is the Manami ending, or as the internet kind of refers to it too, the Green Devil ending, which is understandable. But yeah, also the pure love ending, which firstly I liked. I think it was really quite good. There were a few things that there were a few problems I kind of had with it, but yeah, I thought it was a really quite nice ending. And yeah, this ending here was really quite interesting for me because we've never really known about Homura before everything that happened with Haruka and before Takayuki started coming to the hospital, really. With the previous routes I've read, so Haruka, Mitsuki, and Akane's routes, we've known them in our Hakuryo days. But yeah, it's not really been the case for Homura. I mean, obviously, Homura's known about us, but we've not known about her. So, yeah, let's get discussing. So, when I first saw everything that was going on with Homura's route, I felt really, really uneasy. I don't know, I just felt a bit suspicious of her because she just seemed too perfect. She genuinely just really, really felt like, I don't know, like she was too good to be true. But, yeah, I suppose Takayuki comes to save her, in that hospital scene on the rooftop where that weirdo doctor is kind of making advances on her. And then I mean, obviously, if she has an opportunity to get to know Takayuki, of course she is going to take it because obviously she's had feelings for us always. And yeah, that's kind of how this Sky Temple scene came around. And yeah, it was interesting just learning about her a little bit and also why she does her job. And yeah, she always seemed quite mysterious here. And yeah, the drinking scene as well. Takayuki just really admiring Homura and just kind of the theme that was getting more and more of a problem. The sense that Homura is just kind of an escape from everything that is happening with Haruka, and Mitsuki is not really an escape because, well, firstly, their relationship literally began because of Haruka, but also it's just the fact that their relationship is becoming more distant. Mitsuki's relationship is just kind of another responsibility to him, and just in general, the fact that he can't be free of everything that is happening to Haruka when she's there, really. And it's interesting how this route really, really makes that more clear. And it's just interesting how Takayuki's character development is really quite different as a result of it. I mean, like, for example, if you compare this to something like Akane's route, he's just really stressed. I mean, obviously, you've got a really demanding routine with seeing Haruka, you've got your job, you've got to deal with people like Daikuji. To be fair, I don't think he actually hates Daikuji. I just think he finds him, I just think he finds her quite irritating. It must be, I think it's probably so irritating that you just can't take her seriously. But yeah, it still must be a pain to deal with her. I would walk out of a job if I had to deal with somebody like that. My God. But yeah, it's just kind of the perfect escape, and this problem just gets more and more bad in terms of what happens, and you can see that here, and you can just see the fact that this is kind of starting to take priority, really. Reminds me of Mitsuki's bad ending, by the way, because you see Homura, she knows that Takayuki is not going to have I mean, obviously Takayuki has feelings for her, but she knows that they can't be the most important feelings that he has, because obviously he has feelings for Mitsuki and Haruka as well. Three people. And no matter what happens, though, she will still offer herself up to him. And yeah, she'll basically do anything. it is interesting how she kind of develops as well, and especially in this bad ending, because we just realize that this relationship is just something that should not be happening. It's a total affair. It's really awful to Mitsuki, and Takayuki tries to get his life back how it should be. And I just think it's really quite funny because usually in the worst endings, Takayuki is not somebody who's responsible, but he is in this ending, my god. Yeah, it's interesting how Manami's character kind of contrasts, because I think when Takayuki kind of gives into her feelings and she realizes that she probably realizes that he's just doing way too much for her, she kind of goes to talking about Haruka and Mitsuki, and just trying to make him, I don't know, just trying to make his relationship work again. Whereas if he outright betrays Homura and he makes her so upset, yeah, I think we know what happens. Is it in the next? Yeah, this happens. But yeah, it's cool how that kind of changes, and then obviously things start to get very weird between this part and this part here, because we have all of the stuff where Homura has basically gotten into our house without us even knowing. She had a fucking key copied. I mean, what the hell was that? And yeah, it was just all of the suspicions I had about her completely being confirmed here, and basically Mitsuki being suspicious, and obviously her completely leaving when Takayuki tries to get everything back, and yeah, then basically this all happens because Takayuki is just, he just wants to confront her about what the fuck happened. And then he's literally pushed down the stairs, and then this all happens. If I'm going to be honest, the weird thing about Haruka's, sorry, I meant Homura's ending, is the fact that she is so drastically different in both of these routes. Because, I mean, I get that before the band ending, she could kind of accept the fact that she may have had feelings for Takayuki, but they were never going to be possible to have. But here, when she's so hurt by Takayuki because he wants to end it all, she just really can't hold back and she can't control herself. The fact that she can push herself to do all of the things that she did is actually quite impressive. It's just really weird. This is kind of a problem I have with Homura's route. There's not really that much of an explanation as to why she has the potential to become such a psychopath, if you ask me. I mean, yeah, sure, she's really drunk with love. Yeah, I can understand that, but I mean, it just feels like a bit of a leap. But I mean, there are some things that make you understand why she does everything that she does in the bad ending. Like, for example, the fact that she's not really lived with her parents. And her grandmother as well. She died, and yeah, that's all we really know. We don't actually know much about her. And I remember Takayuki saying that maybe just because of that, she's never really known how to properly love somebody, and that's kind of why something like this could happen. But yeah, I just wish we had more on her background. But it is interesting what happens here, because you just see Takayuki at first. He just, of course, he hates Homura more than anything, and I suppose he probably really hates himself for actually falling into her trap, basically. And yep, he hates her more and more. And yeah. Wait, what? Did I? I can't believe I only spent 2 sessions on the bad ending. I thought there were more. But yeah. Yeah, remember what I was saying about her descent into degeneracy being so weird? Like, what the fuck was all of that stuff about, like, being so degrading to Takayuki, and Like, you remember the stuff with the food bowl and the water and that really, really weird sexual stuff as well. Like, what was that? What have I read? If I'm going to be honest, that is a very good question I could ask. But it's interesting when Takayuki goes out. Oh my god, how can you hate a character more than Homura? Because he's finally his leg is finally okay to walk on again, and then you see the movers just getting everything out of his house, and you see obviously, yes, Homura has told Mitsuki that Takayuki will now be living with him, with her even. Oh god, and you just see so many unpleasant things. I mean, his job as well, and she's a proper prisoner because what she does at first, Takayuki doesn't want to be here. So she just basically fucks up his entire life so that this is the only place that is safe, that has a roof under his head, and that has constant supply of food. I mean, what the fuck? Yeah. And, do you know what? I think this ending was just kind of the visual novel demonstrating how fucked up it could be. But I think the scene with Takayuki, Mitsuki, and Shinji, that was really, really well done. And I think it is interesting how even after you see how broken Takayuki has become as a result of Manami, he still has responsibility to tell Mitsuki everything that has gone on and, yeah, everything that has happened. And it's just interesting how unpleasant it gets. And, yeah, everything with Shinji as well, and Mitsuki going with Shinji as well. One of the only times where we've seen Mitsuki getting into a relationship with Shinji in the actual route. And then, oh my god, after this, so after he realizes that Homura's house is the only safe place for him, and Homura can love him as much as her weird mind allows her to. Yeah, I don't actually have any CGs of it. Good, but yeah, just that fucking weird stuff. I mean, total mind break of Takayuki, and my god, that scene at the aquarium, what the fuck was that? And yeah, obviously the ending scene where, yeah, the daughter stuff, that's so weird. I don't want to go into it, but yeah, I think you know what I mean. So then we're talking about the most deprived stuff in the visual novel so far, and then we just see something that completely contrasts it, i.e. the lunchtime scene, and we see the funny thing is, it's just when we are not responsible and we don't really want Homura to go, and we prioritize her over Mitsuki and stuff, I love that I said that, but yeah, she is the person who is more responsible, and she realizes that her feelings are not really something she should be having, and then she tries to get Takayuki to restart his relationship with Mitsuki, and she really becomes like a mentor for him, like somebody he can tell all of his problems to. Now, what I find really interesting about this is I was originally really suspicious about her here. I thought she was trying to do everything, make everything the best, so that she could just then fuck it up and then have Takayuki to herself, which, I mean, after reading the bad end, I wouldn't be surprised about whatsoever. But no, that wasn't happening. She genuinely seemed like she cared, which it was a real contrast. Remember those, what was it, purple tulips that Homura had made Takayuki give to Haruka? I thought that was just an indication that my theories were right, that she was just genuinely trying to fuck everything up. But, yeah, I don't know. We're never really given an answer, but I actually feel like that may have not been the case, which is quite surprising. But yeah, we have everything going better with Mitsuki, and let's be honest, Takayuki trying to rely on Homura a bit too much. It's kind of a relationship where he wants to begin it, but then because he relies on Homura so much, he falls in love with her, and then he kind of just realizes that his feelings for Mitsuki are kind of over. And I think it's primarily because of the fact that Homura has nothing to do with Haruka. And then, yeah, we see more of what I was talking about here. Oh my god, I wonder when the cinema scene's coming. Oh yeah. Yeah, the two women! Which one will you pick? But, yeah, it's just, I remember that cinema scene where Mitsuki had to go. I think this was kind of the turning point for Takayuki, because firstly, he was trying to, even though he didn't really feel in it, he was trying to kind of revive the relationship with Mitsuki, but then he just saw how hurt Homura how hurt Homura was, just as a result of needing to hide her feelings from Takayuki, and how she couldn't really bear it, and just throughout that entire cinema trip, her just totally being absent-minded and not being able to think about anything else. And I think that responsibility that Takayuki had, that was kind of the turning point. That was when he realized just what he's doing to Homura, and when he started to feel really quite bad. I mean, no, he's not. It's not really his fault, but no, it kind of is and it isn't. But yeah, that was kind of when I think turning point happened. And then after that, it's kind of, we see her more. We're a little bit more irresponsible because, let's be honest, our feelings for her take over. And it's also just all of the stuff about everything relating to Haruka and Mitsuki, and obviously telling Haruka about everything that's gone on with Mitsuki. It's interesting that Mitsuki does that all in the end. But yeah, it's just more responsibility, and then we have the scenes where Manami disappears for quite an abrupt amount of time just because she's feeling so shit. And oh my god, the ring as well. It's just, she knows that she can't be with Takayuki, even though Takayuki feels as if he doesn't want to be with anybody else more and more. She knows that, so that ring is kind of her way of accepting it, and accepting that nobody will buy her that ring. She has to do it herself. Yeah, and then we've got obviously the ending here. And I think this ending was really, really nice, actually. We had Takayuki and Mitsuki's breakup. I think that was really interesting. It was a lot more. It's just typical, because when Takayuki and Mitsuki have that argument really late into the route, you have them actually being honest about their feelings to each other. Takayuki just abandoning all pride, just saying he can't deal with this, and he can't deal with the stress of Haruka and the stress of constantly having to be exposed to somebody who reminds him of her. And yeah, it's a shame that it had to happen, but as a result of them being honest, the breakup just made so much more sense, and they were able to understand each other. And what I really, really liked was that scene where Mitsuki goes out, and yet he just rushes to thank her, basically. Something we never really saw in any of the other routes. I just think it's so funny that Homura has the potential to be so fucking illegal and insane, and yet at the same time, in order to fall in love with her, like real love, not whatever the fuck that was in the Manami ending. In order to truly fall in love with her, Takayuki becomes the most responsible person he's probably become in any of the routes so far. It is quite funny, that. But yeah, it was really sweet, the last scene with the ring. And like I said in my discussion video for Akane's route, that's kind of my problem. I wish there was more aftermath. Like, it's just, you've fallen in love with Homura, and then that's it. There's not really much after. I mean, obviously, there was that Haruka letter. I liked that. And I also liked that little snapshot of their life afterwards when they'd moved away. I just kind of wish there was more, because of the fact... Now, normally I wouldn't wish there was more, because I think that would have been enough if there was a chapter 3. Because of the fact that there's not a chapter 3, I wish there was more content, if you get what I mean. But yeah, overall, I am happy with that ending. So yeah, like I said, my main problems with this ending is just I don't really think Homura's backstory was elaborated much, and I think it could have been talked about more. But aside from that, it was a pretty solid ending. As you can see here, now I'm going to be beginning Hoshino's ending, and then whatever the fuck Amakawa's route is. I don't know what to expect when it... No. Oh my god, is her name Amakawa or Hotaru? I genuinely forgot. No, okay, her name is Hotaru. Yeah. I always forget that. It's just the funny thing about Kimi Nozomu characters. I think this goes with... Obviously, it goes with Mitsuki. Like, when you first get to know these characters, it's sometimes so hard to tell which of their names is their first name and which of their names is their surname. So, Hayase Mitsuki, you have, I think Suzumiya, Haruka, and Akane, not really that bad, because I've seen a lot of characters with Miya in that, or that kanji at least, in their surnames. Mamiya Takuji. Dare I say anymore? But yeah, anyway, oh yeah, if you've read Canon, Tsukimiya Ayu as well. But yeah. There's also Fumio Hoshino, of course. Oh no, her name Hoshino Fumio in Japanese. Obviously Hotaru, and not really. I don't really get that with Mayu. Oh, not really with Ayu either, or Daikuji. Definitely with Homura. But I just think it's so funny because I've never really felt that in a visual novel before as much as I have with Kimi ga Nozomu Eien. But yeah, anyway, I got totally sidetracked. This is something I've wanted to bring up in a video for quite a bit of time, but I've just never really gotten around to it. But yeah, anyway, I'm excited to see what the story is going to offer next, because so far, oh my god, Hoshino seems like a complete asshole. Yeah, not the type of person you would want to be hanging around with. But I don't know, maybe that will change. Maybe next time I'm going to think how badly this aged. I don't know, but yeah, it's going to be interesting either way. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time, and remember, if you ever want to learn something from Homura's route, I don't even know, what should I say? Oh yeah, I know. If you ever get yourself in Takayuki's situation, when you get out, call the fucking police! Like, seriously? Yes, very important life lesson, because I'm sure that's going to happen to all of us at some point. I should just shut up and end the video. Okay, bye guys.